Hello, everybody, and welcome to Brooks Knows Baseball 30 Breakdowns in 30 Days. Today, we are moving right along with John. What are you doing there? You're upside down.
Uh-oh, I've been drinking way
I
too
think
much.
Dave's getting to you. But anyway, we're for 30 Breakdowns in 30 Days. Today, we're in Miami with the Marlins. Taking a look at the Marlins' history really fast. They have not been good recently. They made the playoffs in 2020, which was a shocker to everybody. But before that, they have not made the playoffs since 2003. And that was the year they won the World Series. They've only made the playoffs 3 times in their entire history. And I guess the good thing is about that, 2 of the 3 times you won the World Series. So those are good. But last year, they had 69 wins and 93 losses, finishing fourth, 32 games behind. The year before that, again, 67 and 95, finishing fourth again. They really haven't finished higher than, it's just not, their record's terrible.
They made the playoffs, the shortened season,
Yeah, in 2020, right? But apart from that, again, not since 2003, but without.
Well, anytime they get someone, they sell them off, seems like.
It does. So how much longer before Alcantara is gone? But we'll get to them in a moment. If you would, John, go ahead, jump on into it, and we'll get started with the Marlins.
Yeah, acquisitions. They had the trade with Luis Ariz. They got JT Chagua, the pitcher. They got Johnny Cueto, Yuri Gurriel, Jose Iglesias. That's basically their main. Well, they did. Rule 5 guy might make the team. Nick Enright. They got him, Virginia Tech guy. But that's about it.
You got
Rotation
Johnny
wise,
Cueto 10 years ago. That'd be a good move.
we had him 10 years ago. Let's see. We get to the bullpen: Alcantara, Johnny Cueto, Jesus Luzardo, Trevor Rogers, who a couple years ago looked really good, and then last year he died. Edwin Cabrera, up and comer. Now, there was some word that they may go with a 6-man bullpen. And if they do, rotation. And if they do, it'd be Braxton Garrett. If not, he'd probably be a long man or spot starter if one of the other guys fail. But Alcantara, good pitcher. Cueto still did pretty good last year. Trevor Rogers said 2 years ago he's pretty good. I've seen him pitch a few times. He looked lights out, and last year he kind of died. Your pen, they got Matt Barnes. I don't know why anybody would get Matt Barnes. Seen him blow up too many times for the Red Sox, which I wasn't upset about that. But 44 games last year, 144 WHIP. He's not good. But they did also get. I forgot to mention AJ Puck. Love his name, being a hockey fan and all. 62 games, 312, 115 WHIP. He's good, left-hander. Tanner Scott. No, the dude had a 161 WHIP last year. Tanner played 61 games, pitched in 61 games. Then you got JT Chagua. Love to say his name. 21 games, 242, .94 WHIP. Stephen Okert, 60 games, 298, ERA 117. Dylan Florio, 56 games, 117 WHIP, also 302 ERA. Was it Huskar Brazabon? Like a 29-year-old rookie, 27 games, high WHIP, decent ERA.
But Huskar Brazabon says he's 33.
Yeah, that's what I said. He's an old rookie last year. Nick Enright, the Rule 5 guy they got from Cleveland. In AAA, he had a .97 WHIP and a 2.68 ERA. So
playing much this year. It's his series had not Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Who's that? Enright? They had him. He
number
does
22.
Now?
It says Hodgkin's lymphoma on my sheet.
Well, they picked him after that. Jacobs kept going into the. Do you have anything to say about the pitching? Because there's not much to say.
One thing, I guess, because we're about to hop right into the roster, right? Our lineup. Okay. Yep. One thing I do want to notice, and I don't think I'm going to shock any people, are the Marlins probably are not going to be very good this year. Correct? I'm going to tell you this real quick. I'm going to read you the ages of their players. Okay. So the pitching staff we have Johnny Cueto, who's 37, in the bullpen. Floro, 32. Matt Barnes, 30. He'll be 30. JT Chargois, 32. Stephen Okert, who's going to be 32. Tommy Nance, 32. Brazabon, 33. Then you go to their lineup here. Jorge Soler, 31. Garrett Cooper, 32. Acevael Garcia, 30. He'll be 32. Gene Segura.
Stallings is old,
Yeah,
isn't he?
Gene Segura is 33. Joey Wendell will be 33. Jacob Stallings is already 33. Jose Iglesias is 33. John Birdie's 33. They suck, and they're old. And their minor league system sucks.
Yeah, we'll get to after we go to the lineup real quick. We'll get to that because I want to talk
That's
about that.
crazy, isn't it? That is,
Yeah, their general manager. What the hell is she doing? You know, I mean, are they rebuilding? Well, the farm system isn't very good. So, I mean, if you're a Marlins fan, man, I feel bad for
I
you. You know,
guess might as well
you know?
be a Tampa Bay fan at that point.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, but
All
Jacob
right, well,
Stallings,
go to the
his
Jacob Stallings.
33, and his
No
yeah, and
power.
when his average has gone down every year since 2019 to 223 next year. So I assume at 33, it's probably going to go even lower.
Right. And they got Nick Fortes, 230 average, 9 home runs, a little more power, only had about a couple hundred at bats. Maybe he's going to take over. First base, I thought Cooper had a solid
Yeah,
year.
now Rez can play first base as well.
Yeah. Well, that's their main hitter because then you get a shortstop. They're probably going to be a platoon situation with Joey Wendell, and Jose
Yeah.
Iglesias. And Iglesias has got good D, but
I want to talk a little bit
what
about
now?
Arise. I think we skipped over him too fast.
Yeah, he's too good a hitter to
So
skip
let
over
me
him.
real quick. Again, for Luis Arraez, I've heard nothing but great things from him. But you do have to take a look at his 2021 season when he had his lowest batting average of his career. It dropped all the way to 294. Concerning. So his batting average since coming into the league, and he's been a regular player really for the last 2 years. COVID year, he played half the year, and then in 19, he played 92 games. So it's a very good sample size for him. 334, 321, 294, 316. Those are his.
But he all bat, no glove.
Yeah, he's not the best glove, and he has no power, but he gets on base. He's, I think, a prototypical leadoff guy. I mean, but he's not.
Yeah, but he don't have much speed, though, does he?
Well, I mean, I consider four bases pretty speedy on the base path there. But yeah,
Yeah, I'd probably,
he's
if they had
player,
a
but
well,
he's a
go
very
ahead.
one-dimensional player. But he's a hell of a hitter. I just don't want to skip over him because I do. I
No,
think
you're right.
it's going to be. I think Minnesota might miss him. Maybe hopefully Pablo Lopez, who they traded for him, makes up for any of those losses. But Arez is a very very solid player who's going to be competing for batting titles just about every year he plays.
Yeah, I have to agree there. But skip back to shortstop, sitting Wendell and Jose Iglesias. Jose is a good defensive guy. But hadn't his offense kind of last since 20 when he was with Baltimore basically gotten better than it was previous to that in his career? I know Baltimore had a
I don't
heck
have
of a
his
year.
stats in front of me. I'm looking at Wendell right now, so
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. Joey Wendell's kind of a solid guy. But
well,
then
hold
you
on. For
got
Wendell, he's 33, and he can't.
Iglesias is probably older than
Yeah,
that.
he's 33. His batting average went down the last 3 years. There's no direction. How is that general manager still there? That's a.
I
Didn't,
have a feeling, but we'll get kicked off the
didn't
air. I
Jeter
can't
get
say.
kicked? Didn't he leave? Yeah, I don't blame him. There's
I
nothing.
know
They got Alcantara, and that's it.
because that general manager has not proven she's worth a crap. Because what has she done now? Is it the ownership? I don't know. I don't know enough about ownership.
It doesn't.
But the farm system's bad
You hear
and
me?
team's bad.
It doesn't take
Pardon?
ownership to draft good.
That's true. Then you get, like I said, Gene Sakura. He's on the backside of his career, obviously, like their whole team. I feel really bad saying even talking about his team because if their fans are listening, I mean,
Look,
I feel for you. Now, one great thing is center field, Jazz Chisholm. He's got a lot
whoa.
of power.
You mean the most overrated player in baseball?
don't know. They moved him from second base out to the outfield. He's going to play center field. He had 14 home runs and 45 RBIs, and he didn't have that many at bats.
His
You
career
know,
batting average is 243, and people talk about this guy like he's
how many at bats does he have?
200 or I have 810 plate appearances in 205 games.
Right. So he's young, right? He's the only young guy in the
So his only
team.
year where he played a little bit, 124, he hit two
That was his
strikes
rookie
out.
year,
No,
right?
it was not. Well, yeah, I guess it was. He strikes out at around 28 to 30%. He strikes all the time.
Well,
He does.
and he's young. How
He's
old is he?
25. He ain't that young. I mean, he's young, 20.
Well,
And they
well, when
be the cover
hey,
of the show. That's what drives me crazy.
well, when you're lost at sea, you're looking for any size island, right? So I
Right.
found him. Okay. In outfield, you got Brian De La Cruz, John Birdie, Jesus Sanchez, Avisel Garcia. One thing I don't want to skip over Birdie, 30-some-year-old guy, but super utility kind of player. But he led the league in steals last year. De La Cruz, 252,
He's a
13
solid
homers.
hitter. He strikes out too much. Looking at him in the minors for Houston in 21, he hit 324 in 66 games with 12 home runs. So you should expect, yeah, you should
De La Cruz,
expect to see a little bit more power with him maybe.
yeah, what's he? He's a young guy. He's probably like 30 on that team. No, I know he's not
26.
that old, but uh, and then you got Jesus Sanchez. Yeah, he destroys AAA. I know because he destroys Norfolk at least. He was a 214 hitter, 13 homers. This team has no power, no average hitters except
There's nothing
Raz.
there. We talked right
I know it's
potentially being the
terrible.
worst team. I think Marlins were probably the worst team in the league.
I think their pitching may help a little bit, but Jorge Soler, why? He's never done much. He had a good playoff series for Atlanta, so they signed him. Then he comes out and hits a whopping 207 and 13 homers. Avisel Garcia, I know he's up there, 224 hitter, 8 homers. I mean, no power. They pick up Yuli Gurriel. I guess he'll be split DH with
Isn't
Soler, maybe play some first base.
he really old too?
Pardon? He was old when he got here. He was
What
like
are they
30-year-old
doing? What
rookie because
direction does this team have? They're
well, do you realize Gurriel had a crap year batting, but he was a 21 batting champion and he fell that far and that fast. But that's all I can say other than they got a new manager, Skip Shoemaker, former Cardinal. Um, like I said, they're old. The farm system is bad. It's sad. It's Major League Baseball. In the best interest of baseball is step in. There's a couple teams like them. The Pirates. At least the Pirates farm system is good, but it doesn't matter because we'll get to Pittsburgh later. But they'll get rid of everybody. But that's another day, another dollar.
yeah.
So you go over to prospects if you can find more than Jacob Berry and Yuri Perez. Oh,
Max Meyer,
Max
didn't he
Meyer.
get blown up when he went up, or he's not?
He didn't play much up
I
there,
don't
did he?
think he played much, but in the times he did, yeah. But so anyway, we got Yuri Perez at number 1, Jacob Berry at number 2. Yuri Perez is a right-handed pitcher. Jacob Berry is third baseman. Max Meyer from the baseball hotbed of Minnesota is a right-handed pitcher. Dax Fulton, number 4, 21-year-old guy in Double A, and then Jake Eder, a left-handed pitcher who is 24 only in Double A, which might be a little concerning for.
Well, he's got 6 more years before they want him up there because he got to be 30
Yeah,
to
well,
play on the
Meyer is
team, right?
24 and he's up and down really. So I'm looking, he was sent to Double A straight out of college, which is good, but it's not good that he's not really established himself apart from 2 games. And he's only pitched 6 innings, obviously, so you don't know what you're going to get with him. But as of now, really not much. He was decent in the minors, and interesting enough, I saw him pitch in a spring training game against the Twins before he was drafted. But Yuri Perez, maybe they're talking about him making his debut this year. He's going to be super duper young. On Double A, his ERA was just about a little over 4, but he is their top prospect, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, probably their only top 100 prospect.
Barry's not in
I'm
there.
going to check really quickly here if my internet, which is famously for not working very well. Thank you, Spectrum. But yeah, so there's not much there. They're old. They're minor league system. We have them rated 28th, the best farm system in the league. So very bad. There's nothing there. There's no future as far as the minor league systems go, unless the consensus is that everyone's wrong. Um, it's tough, and I feel bad for their fans.
Yeah. Well, hey, to make it change things a little more upbeat, we have a new guest in the studio today. Big Detroit Tiger fan here, Dora. But anyway,
Max Meyer
uh,
is actually on there too. So you get Yuri Perez, Jacob Berry, and Max Meyer. But again, not much there. Not much of a future, unfortunately, for that. Actually, I'm sorry, they're not 28th, they're 25th. 25th. But we'll see. I guess that's the only thing you can say about them. I don't think their general manager should
hey,
be there at all because she has not done anything positive for the team at all.
real quick, one last thing. Not Miami related, but I guess indirectly it could be because they play each other. Big news today: Edwin Diaz and the Mets are counting on. Everybody thinks they're a World Series competing team. He looks like he got hurt pretty good, celebrating after Puerto Rico won
Yep.
today.
Yep.
So and they had another pitcher that had a benign tumor. What's the other starter?
Yep.
Quintana, was it?
So
Yeah. So they're feeling it, man. And Alonso, the way he's playing, woo, in the WBC,
we
don't
have
look
the
good.
Marlins finishing fourth once again in the NL East at 72 wins and 90 losses. Maybe that needs to.
But Nationals could get them.
This
But
is going to be
look,
fun division for
because
the
they,
Nationals and the
uh,
Marlins. But at least future,
yeah,
at least a
there's
little bit better of a future. Yeah, and
who
they
the
have a proven guy who knows how to build a team. The Marlins not.
right. Yeah, yeah, we'll get to them, but they made a lot of
It's
good
going to
trades and
be
got
a
a lot
while
of
before
good
the Marlins
good.
are good again. A while.
All right, now be
Yeah,
good
I
in
think the
3 years.
Marlins will not be because Alcantara is going to get traded off soon. But I don't know. I don't know. But today's episode of Winsford in the National League is sponsored by Kaiser Gets Crafty, another sponsor we just brought on board as well, along with Jane's Creations, which you can still see back there. But Kaiser Gets Crafty will be making us T-shirts to wear in the future. The company makes John. You know better than me.
Oh, they'll make shirts, cups, whatever. Put your designs on it, or they can make a design for you. You can find them on Etsy. You can find them on Facebook under Kaiser
Also,
Crafty.
and while
Um,
you're on a roll, go ahead and close it down.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's all for this episode, folks. Catch us next time on
Good
Brooks
night.
Knows Baseball. Good night, DK.